Hi there. If you are new to this channel, my name is Ramya Satish, and in this channel, we're going to be talking about all the things that have helped me level up in my life. So, we're going to be talking about healing, about manifestation, about human design, about stepping into your authentic power so that you can live your most aligned and beautiful life. Okay, so in today's video, we're going to be talking about how my life completely changed once I went off social media. For the last 5 months, I've been off it. I have deactivated my Instagram, I've deactivated my Facebook, and honestly, I have never been more at peace with life and with myself. So, for the last 5 months, I had deactivated my Instagram account and my Facebook account just because I started noticing that every time I was on the app, there was this crazy restlessness and anxiety that I felt in my body. I was never able to put a finger on why or what is causing this. Of course, I knew the science behind how scrolling would do this to you, but it never really hit me till I decided to go off the app. So one day I just decided that I'm going to deactivate my app because I noticed that when I logged off or deleted the app from my phone, my mind would inevitably find loopholes and it would again go back online and type instagram.com and go ahead and type in my email and my password. And over a period of time, this started becoming very automatic. So it was again like it became like a reflex action every time I took my phone. So I realized that for me, for this to work, it has to be an all or nothing approach. So I decided to deactivate Instagram. I deactivated Facebook. And oh my God, even the very day that I did that, the kind of peace that washed over me was insane. So in this video, I want to be talking about 6 benefits I experienced going off social media and how this is a gift you can totally give yourself to. Okay, let's get into it. Number one, and this is so important, was that I uncovered my true desires. I realized that everything on my vision board was things that I aspired because I borrowed it from somebody else that I was following, another successful coach, another successful entrepreneur. So if they had the dream of becoming a deca millionaire, or if they were deca millionaires living luxurious, crazy lifestyles, I had it all in my vision board because I convinced myself that these are things that I truly wanted too. And I was never this person, okay? Not that it's good or bad, but I genuinely, from within, I was never this person who ever dreamed of becoming a deca millionaire. Of course, it's always welcome. I love money, and money is always welcome. But it wasn't ever a core desire of mine to make like millions and millions of dollars and have it up on my vision board. So always this goal had like a little bit of like a resistant feeling in my heart every time I went on Instagram and I saw that the people that I was following, the people that I looked up to, were talking about making $10,000 in a day and $10,000 in an hour, and how that like eventually led to millions of dollars. It always made me feel like I was far behind. It always made me feel like I hadn't arrived in life. It was only when I went off the app that I realized that these dreams were never even mine to begin with. So I did this exercise where I truly went in and asked my heart what it wants, what its true desires were. And honestly, the things that came up were so different from what I had on my vision board. It was things like connection with friends, like sitting in a coffee shop with real people that I really cared about, having meaningful conversations, having intellectually stimulating conversations about the universe, about metaphysics, about neuroscience. These were the things that really excited me, and these were the things that I craved to like have in my life. And I really craved like writing my book, having this YouTube channel. All of these things were my core desires. And in any of these, none of the things that I thought I wanted because I was following all of my coaches and teachers, none of them featured in my authentic desires list. So, in a way, going off social media and not having to see that every day helped me tune in to my authentic needs, my authentic wishes and goals for my life. And this was so freeing because this felt so aligned in my heart. This felt like something my heart truly felt joyous thinking about. And you know that when you feel really joyful and when you feel the feelings of like having manifested that thing that you want to call into your life, it comes to you a lot faster. And when you disconnect from other people's dreams and tune into your own, it just becomes so much more easy for you to feel into the joy of having that thing rather than borrowing somebody else's dream and forcefully making yourself tune into an emotion that you probably don't want at this point in my life. Now, I'm not saying that I don't want to become a deca millionaire. I'm not saying that I don't want to rake in like millions of dollars. But at this point in my life, that is not what my core desire is. It's something totally different. Maybe 5 years down the line, or maybe even next year, my desire might be the Deca Millions, in which case it would totally make sense to have it on my vision board. But my point is, it has to come from within and not because you are seeing it on somebody else's Instagram, not because you're being brainwashed into thinking that if you're not there yet, then you're not successful, that you're a nobody in life. So going off social media really helped me, remove that like constant anxiety of not having arrived in places where I did not even want to be in the first place. The second point is again a very important one. I started feeling a lot more grounded and peaceful in my body. I started feeling less anxious without the constant dopamine spikes. Now, as you know, Instagram and social media in general, especially reels and especially the likes and the comments, they are designed in a way to keep you hooked onto it because every time somebody comments or every time you go onto social media, your brain is anticipating something new, and that newness is what creates like this dopamine spike in your body, and that's what keeps you addicted to going back to it over and over again. Now, dopamine is a neurotransmitter that signals pleasure and reward. So every time we experience something pleasurable, there is a spike of dopamine in the body, right? So every time you watch that cat video, the dog video, or every time you're like swiping through stories, you're constantly getting like a hit of dopamine. And after a point, the dopamine receptors get so burnt out that when you come back to your real life, the pace at which real life happens is so boring. Like there's no dopamine. Like you feel that you're not able to find genuine joy in anything that's happening in your real life just because it's not as stimulating and it's not as exciting as the online world. So when you cut off from social media, or when I cut off from social media, what I experienced was that initially, of course, there was some sort of withdrawal where it just felt like there was nothing to do. But after a period of time, I was able to enjoy like the smaller things in life. Like I was looking forward to my cup of tea in the morning, or I was looking forward to taking a walk in the sunshine, or I was looking forward to having a meaningful conversation with a friend. Now, these are things that social media deprives you of because you're not really looking forward to having your tea or talking to your friend. You'd rather just scroll on social media if you had that option. And these are the things that it deprives you of, which over a period of time compounds and you start feeling really empty inside. Another thing excessive social media does is that it weakens your prefrontal cortex. So, the prefrontal cortex is an area of your brain which is responsible for focus, for decision making, for controlling impulses. And when we are constantly checking our phones and when we are constantly scrolling on social media, this part of our brain gets weakened, and as a result of that we are over a period of time we're not even able to resist the urge of checking our phone. So that's what happens when we are so addicted to this social media world. Now there is a system called the default mode network in our brains in the way we function, which is responsible for introspection and self perception. So when we are on social media all the time, this default mode network gets affected, and we start having a negative self image because of the constant comparison, and we start feeling low, and it leads to depression and anxiety and general unfulfillment in life. So when you cut off from social media, what happens is that your dopamine will again fall into a baseline metric where it will balance itself out. And now you can start feeling pleasure from the smaller activities in life, start feeling pleasure from the things that are normal and natural. And you'll start seeing that your attention span increases, your focus increases, you'll be able to concentrate on things for a longer period of time. And I'm going to cover this in another point as well. Okay, so now that we're on this point, let's go to point number three, which is it increases your focus and your attention span. I noticed that once I went off social media, there was not much to do because when you're on social media, the concept of time just stops existing. You'll just scroll for like endless hours, and when you look up at the watch you'll just see that the like maybe 2 or 3 hours have passed by and you don't even know how, right? So when you're off social media, like you have a more real estimate of time, and because time is stretched out longer, you start filling it with meaningful activities like reading or doing something creative or creating a video, going for a walk. So your focus and your attention span really increases. I noticed that when I was on social media, I love reading books. Okay, so I really have like this huge collection of books and I'm constantly reading something. But when I was on social media, I used to read like 1 or 2 pages and immediately I would be on my phone scrolling and checking if someone's messaged me or someone's liked my story or someone's seen my story. And this was happening so often that I had so many books that were unread just lying in my bookshelf. Now, when I went off social media, I was able to finish a lot more books. I was able to remember what I read. And this felt so much better because I was just able to just calm my system. My brain had more space. My brain was not constantly processing new input. It knew that, okay, now we're reading a book. We can just like quiet down and just settle into this process and just enjoy it. So when you're off of social media, you'll notice that your focus improves, your attention improves, and generally you'll just be more present, more grounded, more slow, and a lot more, like in yourself, a lot more present and grounded in yourself. The fourth benefit of going off of social media is that you will realize who your true connections are, people who actually matter to you and people to whom you actually matter to. On social media, we're constantly chasing the new like, the new comment, the new story from people we don't even care about. They're just on our list, and by default, we just watch their stories, we're just updated about their lives. And because we're so sucked into that world, we don't have time to actually keep in touch with the people that we really care about and people who will show up for us and to whom it'll matter if we just disappear. I noticed that once I went off of social media, there were just like a few people who reached out to me and who wanted to know like what was up with my life and who continued that conversation beyond that social media platform. And this showed me that I was focusing my attention on the wrong people and the wrong things all the while long, whereas all of these other beautiful connections that I could have had, that I could have built, were getting weakened just because I was not having time to focus on them, to build them. So going off social media also helped me make time to have longer conversations with people, to have catch ups with people, to have deeper and more fulfilling relationships with people rather than just sharing reels and like going into their DMs and saying something really stupid and meaningless and having like this super small talk, which I hate in the first place. The fifth thing that happened was that I honored and I connected with every emotion that came up in my body. Now, when I quietened my body down, when I quietened my mind down, I was able to be more present with all the emotions that were coming up in my body on a day to day basis. And I was able to just be with them and watch them and dissolve them, as opposed to constantly suppressing them with another reel or another video or another educational, snippet somewhere or like a funny dog or a cat reel. And really over like the last 5 months, every time I've sat with my emotions and I've watched them and I've dissolved them, there is this empty space that's created in my body, and I just know that I've released something that was stuck for so long. Some part of my inner child that needed healing had come up, and I was able to be present with her and I was able to listen to what she had to say and release her so that she wouldn't continue crying and she wouldn't continue attracting the same patterns again. Now, imagine how much opportunity we are missing by being sucked into this world of social media, which is so meaningless, which is so inconsequential, and just completely losing all connection with ourselves when we could actually be going and healing our ancestral wounds, healing our inner children, healing our patterns or the things that keep us stuck in the same loop over and over again. And honestly, the world of social media gives you the illusion that there's so much information and information is, really powerful and all of that. But the more information you have about something, you'll also realize like the more confused you are and the more overwhelmed you are. Now, that brings me to my sixth point, which is it. I was a lot less overwhelmed. I was a lot less confused. Every time I'm on social media, I see a new fact about some food that is good or bad for me. Some way I should be drinking my water, some way I should be breathing. Now, I'm a personal development junkie and I absolutely love ways to make my life better if it can get. But there is a limit to it. Now, everybody has an opposing thought or an opinion on what is good for their bodies and what diet is good and what exercise is good and what air to breathe and what water to drink. And it just becomes so overwhelming for the brain to process all of this. And every time you take a bite of some food or you drink water, there's this constant thought in your mind that, am I doing this right? Is this food good for me? Is this going to harm my body? Am I going to get a heart attack? And when we're eating with so much guilt, or when we're drinking, or when we're just living our lives with so much confusion and guilt, imagine how much resistance it's causing in the body. As opposed to just adopting one belief system, seeing what works for you, and then moving on to another if this one doesn't work, and just peacefully executing it in your life without confusing yourself with overwhelmingly confusing information all the time. Now, the reason this is happening now more than ever is because we have access to global information. Earlier, we only had information from our cities or from our tribes or from our neighborhoods or from our countries at the max. Now we are hearing about what people in different countries are eating, what kind of air they're breathing, what kind of water they're drinking, what kind of herb they're using to enhance this, their skin or their sexual health or whatever it is. And we're so confused. We want all of it and we have none of it. And all of this confusion is leading to nothing but chaos in our bodies and our minds. And we're just wondering what we're doing wrong. So, cutting out from all of this noise also helps our bodies to bring out their innate intelligence. Our bodies are insanely intelligent. They are carrying about their functions. They are going, the heart is beating, the cells are healing, the cells are carrying food and waste and air and all of that. It's going about doing their functions. They're going about doing their functions without you interfering or without you telling them what to do. Now, if you just let it do its thing, it's going to figure out the best thing to make it work for you. It's going to tell you that, okay, this food doesn't feel good for the body, or it's going to tell you that maybe you need a couple of extra hours of sleep this day. And it's not going to be a very prescriptive formula because every single body is different. And you will have to figure out what works for you. And the only way you can do this is by cutting off the external noise and tuning inwards and seeing what your higher intelligence is telling you. So this is what happened to me again when I quit social media, when I went off. There was no more external noise. Of course, there was a little bit from the YouTube videos I was consuming and stuff, but that was with choice. Like I was very conscious about how much of what I'm consuming and how much of what I'm allowing into my space. And because of that, I am now able to stick to a consistent workout routine. I'm able to stick to a consistent diet without being told from a thousand different directions what I should be doing. Okay, so these are all the benefits of going off social media. There are so many, guys. Like, honestly, like, this is, you should really try it out for yourself at least for 2 weeks and see how much it impacts your life. And one of my coaching clients came to me and told me that he's super anxious, right? And he's not able to get out of his anxiety. And this is a person who's constantly on social media. So I just gave him a challenge. I just told him for 14 days, don't be on social media. You don't need to deactivate, but just use it once or twice a day. He started doing that and he sent me like this long voice note just the other day talking about how much it has impacted his life, how much work, how much output he's able to put out into the world, how calm his mind is, how he is able to concentrate, and how he's no more in that like rut of I need to do and I need to be more all the time. Honestly, this works for everybody. And you have to like, at least I invite you to give it a shot for 10 days, for 14 days, and see for yourself the beautiful benefits going off social media makes. And if you try this 14-day challenge, if you try this 10-day challenge, actually, let's do a 14-day challenge. Go off of social media, pick any two platforms that you're super addicted to. It could be Instagram, it could be LinkedIn, it could be any other platform that you're addicted to. Go off it for 2 weeks, come back and report how you felt. I promise you, you wouldn't be feeling the same. I promise you, it's going to make your life better. Okay, that's it for today. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so yet. I'm super, super grateful that you're here and that you watched till here. I will see you in the next video and I love you. Bye.